Good afternoon, 16th March 22, LNG 25. I have made the simulation of Spanish flag versus flag convenience, and these budgets would be applicable today. Reason why I made this is because some companies have Spanish flag 10 ships. They are going to double the fleet, but the CBA needs some lifting. Yeah, the eyes and all this front is the last 15 years CBA perfect, but the ears are now fallen. Yes, and there are certain areas that need a little touch to keep this Botox after 14 years. Therefore, those CBAs are old. I'm saying this because I designed in 2002 this same CBA's Spanish flag when I took some 90 crew from another LNG company towards Spanish flag, and today is the time to do the same thing all over again, but with a beautiful face like yours, with a beautiful brainstorming session that we're going to follow. Captain 7666, Chief Officer 5000, Second Officer 3300, Third Officer 3000. This is times 24, 71 days on, 71 days on off. Then we have Chief Engineer 7500, Second Engineer 5000, Cargo Engineer 5000, and then Third Engineer and Fourth Engineer 3300 and 3000 euros. Again, times 24. The top two need a little lifting of, let's say, 10%, 14%. There is going to be huge shortage in 2025, and therefore we should start, if the phase is like this, we should start touching those two areas, which is the captain and chief officer. In that CBA, those areas are. What are you going to do if suddenly top two? I just made poetry. Leave us. Then in the juniors is the opposite. Is too much Botox, too much. We don't need so much wage. They are paying 3,700-ish times 24. I think 3,300. Second officer, it's okay. We need to teach young people, especially if we're going to double the fleet. So, question is to retain the top. It's very important, this I'm saying, I believe. Now, remember, I did it before, it worked, 14. So, now, electrician, 4,000 euros times 24, Spanish, I think is really responsible wage. Then, bosun, 2,000 euros, Spanish times 18. Well, we could exchange this rank for another. Then we have 6 Filipino AVs, $1,785 each, or euros. Then 4 oilers, 1,785. And then we have got Pamman, 1,900, and then cook and steward. This would be around the total complement, total 1.47 million euros. It's very competitive, but it needs lifting top two much higher, in the juniors much lower, and then the rest 50%. Why? Because out of total 24 crew, a Spanish flag requires captain, chief officer Spanish, and then we have 22 left, 11 must be non-European. So social security total is 64k euros because there is a grant 90% employer's contribution. As I mentioned many times, Spanish flag has 50% income tax reduction. So if a captain earns around this 92k, he's paying 46k rate of tax, because the more you earn, the more you pay. Therefore, we have a situation that is very interesting here for retention of these top 4, and that's why at same costs, Spanish flag and non-Spanish flag, I would devote myself to full Spanish flag, even though it is very, very complicated, because in Spain, the thickest people make things very complicated. Those are the smartest. Those are our prime minister, ministers. They have 5 institutions. They cut training and education and unemployment. They pay everybody unemployment, and we need 4 million seafarers. You see, this kind of people, they have no remorse. So that's the huge disadvantage of the Spanish flag. But if you have a partner like us, we have reduced the agency fees to 45k, which is roughly some 3%. 3 agency fee. Now, if we go towards a flag of convenience, LNG today, 2022, total is roughly the same, 1.44. We don't have Social Security, 64k, but we have the top 4 by the guts. Yes, that's what we need if we are to avoid the risk in 2025, 40% shortage of officers. We have those top. Isn't that a good idea? Yes, I love doing plans and brainstorms with yourself and thinking about how to avoid risk and just doing lifting. Hey, if you're thinking doing 10 ships with Candina, we have a company in Bilbao called Biscay Ship Management, another one in Canary Islands called Candina Ship Management. We can do the Spanish sandwich, you see, because VAT and EJIC, they don't clap. Great idea. But if you are an oil major, perhaps it's time that you think about making major decisions like contacting Candina 2 or pointing. Yes, you see, perhaps you can make this. So it's total 1,635,810 euros for this budget. LNG, new building, we would love to do that. Then in the flag of convenience, master 17,000 euros, chief officer 12,000, second 5, third officer 4,400. Here is times 12. Then we have chief engineer 16,900, cargo 12,000, second engineer 12, third 5th, and 4th 4,400. Then Filipino electrician 6,500 times 12, and then the rest is Filipino rates I mentioned earlier, plus this chief cook 1,975 and the pump man 1,975 US dollars. Should we not find Filipino, we could go. Candina has strategic agreements throughout Africa, America, Asia. So we can do this. Fee is 45k, and therefore it is roughly 3%. So it's very transparent, very convenient, and really is the right lifting. Some companies have done this to themselves, but they need some lifting here and there. As it is 90,000 euros more competitive, the flag of convenience, it is an area of thought. If then the ship, for example, trades far away from Spain, perhaps it's better to diversify and have local, long term. I really recommend this. Thank you very much indeed for your time. I hope you have liked this one. Subscribe and like. Thank you. Bye. Thank you for your time.